There's nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Hi, I'm Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. That's a famous line from the play Hamlet, written by William Shakespeare around the year 1600. Now, I'm sure you can come up with many examples of how this 500-year-old line is wrong. We've all had, quote-unquote, bad experiences in our lives. And it didn't take any thought to declare them bad. They were bad, right? They were bad. There was no two ways about it. They were bad. But when you look back on some of those so-called bad experiences, did something good come out of them? Several months ago, I spoke to you about the concept that every situation has a gift for you. So, have you ever had the occasion in your life when you first experienced it that it was one of the worst things that could have happened to you? Then, as life went on, and you were able to look back on that worst experience a little later, it actually became one of the best experiences that could have happened in your life. So what changed? It was still the same event. The same thing happened to you, whether it was bad or the best. It was an event. The thing that changed your perception of what happened to you was life. You got a chance to see the effect of that event play out down the line, and the result of that event changed your perception of that event. I mean, you got fired from your job. Oh, that's the worst thing that could have happened. You got fired from your job. But since you were without that job, you found yourself put into a situation where you met a person who helped you get the job you've always dreamed of having. Your dream job. But you would have never gotten that dream job because you would have never met that person if you were still on the job where you were unhappy, where you got fired from. Suddenly, the worst thing that could have ever happened to you has become the best thing that could have happened to you because of what it led you to. There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Please click on the thumbs up button, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. And remember, I would love to hear from you, your thoughts, your questions, your suggestions. So please use the chat box on the right side of the screen or the comment section below the video. Look forward to hearing from you. So our purpose in doing these broadcasts is to empower you to rise above the little lives you are living and open yourself to living the amazingly powerful lives you're supposed to be living. You are not a human being having a human experience, even though every bone in your body is telling you that's what you are. But you are actually a spiritual being having a human experience. You are actually incredibly powerful. You've simply forgotten who you are. Last week I told you the fable of the man who had grown up as a royal prince who was loved and pampered by his powerful parents, the king and the queen. But in order for him to be able to eventually take over the throne and rule his country with wisdom, he had to go on a journey to find and retrieve a great treasure and then bring it back to his kingdom. It was a perilous journey, and he ended up in Egypt. And Egypt, in the sacred writings, the wisdom writings, is either the land of refuge or the land of oppression, depending on the circumstances. So when he got to Egypt, he dressed as the Egyptians dressed because he wanted to fit in. He ate as the Egyptians ate because he wanted to fit in, except eating their food made him forget who he was and what his purpose was. And he became lost, disoriented, depressed over his aimless life. There was no use going on. But back in the faraway land, his parents saw what was happening, and they sent an eagle to deliver a message that would awaken him to who he was. When the eagle found him, it whispered in his ear with a beautiful voice and a message of love. And the lost prince was awakened from his stupor, and he remembered who he was and what he was there for. And he then found and claimed the treasure, which was the pearl of great price. The pearl of great price. The pearl in wisdom writings represents great value. It also represents profound wisdom. Now, most of us have heard the phrases pearls of wisdom or pearls before swine. Well, in the case of the lost prince, the pearl was the knowledge of who and what he really was. He was not a homeless waif. He was the son of a great queen and king. He was divinely chosen to rule the kingdom. And by acquiring the pearl of great price, the pearl of self-knowledge, he had now become a spiritual warrior. He had now begun to evolve into his inherent power. A spiritual warrior. A spiritual warrior is one who combats the most insidious and universal enemy of all, ignorance. A spiritual warrior works to achieve the act of self-liberation from fears, doubts, small-mindedness, limited beliefs, self-knowledge. Because those fear, doubt, small-mindedness, they create suffering and unhappiness in our lives. A spiritual warrior gains power in overcoming ignorance of the true nature of the world, of the true nature of self. The spiritual warrior serves the world in the role of a path maker, leading a shift in consciousness. That is the job of the spiritual warrior, leading a shift in consciousness. Spiritual warriors are critical elements in the transformation of the world. He became a spiritual warrior. You can become a spiritual warrior. You are a spiritual warrior. Because a spiritual warrior knows that there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Of course, that's a state of mind that is so difficult to achieve. It might be considered impossible. But the first step to achieving that impossible condition of mind is the awareness of the truth behind it. The truth is you are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. The truth is you are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. And as a spiritual being, as a spiritual warrior, you know that life's challenges are all a part of the plan to make you stronger, to build your spiritual muscle, to strengthen your spiritual character, to enhance your spiritual faith. That the path is being laid out for you by a higher power that will guide you and protect you through it all, good and bad. So what's the point of achieving all the spiritual power that you already have? If you do that, then you can bring changes to this world that will actually work to help save us. You can bring changes that will actually work. Right now, changes are being made all the time, but they're being made by egos who are driven by fear and greed and hubris and anger. It's all around us. It's all through us. All those negative emotions, anger, fear, greed. All they're going to do is get us more anger, fear, and greed, and those can only bring destruction. Not rebuilding, destruction, because they're dark. dark, and they can only bring destruction. So you are needed now. Your awareness, your growing and awareness, your opening is needed now, but only if you can find yourself, only if you can connect to the love that permeates all, only if you can acknowledge who and what you really are. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence. Remember, Shakespeare wrote, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." Rudyard Kipling said, "If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, you can help save us. You can help save this world. All you have to do is understand and be aware of who and what you really are, and heed the words of King David, who wrote the 91st Psalm. And he said, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. And I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save me from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover me with His feathers, and under His wings I will find refuge. His faithfulness will be my shield and rampart. I will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at my side, 10,000 at my right hand, but it will not come near me." You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Your awareness of that truth will bring you to the perfection of the Most High God, because no matter how bad or how good the situation is, you know that this too will pass, and it will leave behind a gift that will take you to the next level. And as you ascend to higher and higher and higher levels of spiritual awareness, your eyes will see without a doubt, without fear, without hesitancy, and you will know that God is all there is. Infinite intelligence is all there is. All there is. Let's close with prayer. Thank you, Mother, Father. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence. Thank you for showing us, all of us, together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join in the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We have infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we're beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. As we become channels of your power, Infinite Intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more. We know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who have inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger, and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below. As within, so without. And so it is. Amen. Thank you for watching. Please remember to click on the thumbs up button below the video. And if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. you can use the logo in the lower right-hand corner. Remember, I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions. So please use the comment section below the video. So in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you again soon, but you have a great day. I am Reverend Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind.